He somehow wired my locker shut from the inside. The one that kind of ended it all was that spring. Yeah, we stole the car. My senior year of high school. This would have been the years of 2001 to 2002. I graduated 2002 at Corning East High.
Back when it was still
East High, before they combined it. Myself and another student, we're going to call him Jake for this story. Because also, I don't think we had any Jakes in our class, so I feel safe using that name. I think like a lot of high school boys, shenanigans are constantly going on. To start out with sticking things in each other's lockers. Like at first it was just like a little piece of paper with weird messages or something like that. And then it kind of elevated into like slices of bologna getting stuck in through the grates and stuff like that. So it was very often coming back at the end of the day or class shift or whatever, and opening up your locker and then having random things that were not yours falling out. And then stuff started to escalate. Take somebody's backpack when they would have it on the floor or whatever, take all the contents out, turn the backpack inside out, put everything back, zipper it together, and then if you're really good, you could get like a little zip tie into the zippers, pull it tight, and then stuff it down in there. Because then all of a sudden, like, the bell would ring, and they would reach over to grab their backpack, and that was just a huge sack that they have to carry in their arms. So you had to go find a janitor. 2001 into 2002 was also the year that Axe body spray came out.
Introducing Axe deodorant body spray for men. The Axe effect.
Somebody got free samples. They were like this big, like the mini cans of Coke sort of thing. And we quickly learned that you could either like duct tape or zip tie the trigger part of it down, and you would create an aerosol bomb. If somebody was getting ready to like close their locker, if you were really good, you could rip one of these together real quick and throw one into their locker before they would shut it, and then shut their locker. And then you would have this Axe body spray going off inside their locker, covering all their stuff while they're panicking and trying to get their locker undone. Jake super glued my locker shut. Kind of rim of super glue around the rim, and then like a little bit in the handle area. We had to just go get like some Goo Gone stuff from the janitor, and we were able to clean the lock part out, and then the rest of it just a good yank.
This poor janitor, you keep coming to him with different stuff, and he's like, "What do you kids do?"
I think the janitors hated us more than they probably hated other kids. I do have to say, at least to our benefit, we were very conscious of like not destroying anything or causing physical harm to anybody, because like that point, that's when it becomes abuse, not a prank. A prank should be something like we all walk away from laughing. And then he upped it. He somehow wired my locker shut from the inside. He figured out my combination.
What's the combination?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
That's amazing. I've got the same combination on my luggage.
He got into my locker and then got wiring and got it like around the back of the locker where the coat hanger part would have been, tied it tight there, then looped it around the internal lock lever system that was inside the door, and then fed it up through the door and then out through the vent so he could then shut the door, pull the whole thing tight, and then he like bent the metal up and got wire cutters and clipped it and then dropped it back in. So it was wired shut from the inside. Yeah, that one I know pissed off the janitors because they had to like take the whole face of the locker off. But I kind of think like the coup de grace, the one that kind of ended it all, was that spring. Yeah, we stole the car. Jake drove some sort of like mid-90s model Geo Metro. And he always kind of parked it in about the same spot. So we always kind of knew where it was. And I managed to convince a handful of football players to help me out with this. So there had to be 6, 7, 8 of them, something like that got in on this plot. One of the guys had a flatbed pickup truck, like an old pickup truck, not with like a full bed with the rims, but just like, the wooden bed in the back. Really old school redneck fun pickup truck. We pulled the truck up Then the football players, and I helped too, I could lift a little bit, surrounded the car and lifted up and then put it on the back of the truck. Geo Metros weighed less than a ton. They were like, I don't know, 1,600 pounds. You get half dozen, maybe a little more. That's roughly 200 pounds each that you have to lift. And we're not going that far with it either. So everybody lifted up the car, slid it onto the back of the truck, put it down, and then drove off with it. He comes back to where his car should be, and there is no car there.
Did you remember what Jake's reaction to this was when he came out and sees?
Yes.
Or sees the lack? He doesn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So at first, he comes out, and we're all standing far enough away that we can see him, but not doing like, oh, we're looking directly at him thing. And he comes out, and he's just in complete confusion. Where is my car? I thought I parked it here. And we see him start walking around the parking lot for a bit. Like, you know, kind of doing that, like, did I park somewhere else? And I just forgot. And he's searching the parking lot for probably a good, like, 15 minutes. At which point, one of the other football players walks up to see if he can lend an assistance. He's like, hey, man, what's going on? And Jake is like, I don't know where my car is. Like, he's freaking out or whatever. And the guy says, oh, you know, I saw a tow truck come through the parking lot at like lunchtime and pick up your car. I thought you had a flat tire or something. He's like, no. He's like, what tow truck? He's like, I don't know. I didn't see what name was on it. So now he thinks like his car has been towed. And we're kind of letting him, now he's freaking out a little bit, like, why was my car towed? Who do I call? What do I do? And again, this is long before we had smartphones. Very, very few people in my high school class had an actual cell phone. So you couldn't go and like look up like local tow companies or get any information. You're just kind of stranded there figuring stuff out. And so we kind of let this ride for about a half hour of just letting him sort of freak out. And then the guy whose truck it was comes driving back around with his car on the back of it, and he sees it. And now he's like trying to put together, like, what's going on? My car is on the back of a truck, but it's not a tow truck. How did it get up there? What's going on? At which point we all kind of go over and tell him, you know, what it is. He's relieved that his car was not like really stolen. His car was gently misplaced for a half hour.